pressure, force and pressure. So first, okay, I'm taking 2 minutes quick reason, then we'll start the liquid pressure, okay? Or we can discuss question answer first, okay? That will revise the things. That will be better. We'll take the question answers first, then we'll start liquid pressure, okay? So first, we started the chapter. You can open page number 43. Open page number 43. Open page number 43 once. So first we have discussed the force. What do you mean by force? So we have seen the different effects caused by the force. So since these effects are taking place, there is a cause, and that cause is nothing but force. Okay. So but we can start the body's motion, we can stop the body, or we can change the speed, we can change the direction of the body of the motion. Okay. And bring force can bring a moving object to rest, and we can deform the body. So what are we applying? These all are the effects. We are applying force. So force is what? Force is that external push and pull of an object which changes or tends to change the state of rest or state of motion. Or what kind of motion? Uniform linear motion. Uniform means its speed remains same during the whole time. Okay, it is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time. And linear means in a straight line. It is moving in a straight line. Okay. And a force can deform an object. Those all things we have discussed. Now, then we discuss pressure. What do you mean by pressure? Force acting normal, okay, and force acting per unit. That is thrust per unit area is called as pressure. How much is force applied per unit area? That is called pressure. Okay, that we will be discussed. We have discussed. We have discussed as well the turning effect. For example, any object, it is one end is fixed at every point. Okay, it is fixed, and now if force is applied, it will turn the object. That turning effect of force we have discussed, and turning effect of force depends on amount of force applied and the perpendicular distance of the line of action. That is perpendicular distance of the line or direction in which force is applied to the pivot. How much far the pivot is from the line of action. On that it depends. Okay, that we have discussed. SI unit of moment of force we have discussed. SI unit we have discussed, Newton meter. That was the SI unit of moment of force we have discussed. After that, we have discussed few applications of the moment of force, like opening the door or using the what you used wrench spanner, you remember, and screwdriver, cycling, steering wheel, and seesaw. We have discussed all those applications. Okay. Then we started with pressure. Okay. And pressure we have discussed. What is pressure? Pressure equal to thrust upon area. Okay, thrust upon area we have discussed. Okay, if we increase the force, pressure increases. If we increase the surface area or which force is acting, pressure decreases. These all we have done. Okay, SI unit of pressure. What will be the SI unit of pressure? What is the SI unit of force? Newton meter square. That is Newton per meter square, or we call it as Pascal. Okay, these all things we have discussed. Then we have discussed examples of pressure in our daily life. Okay, like knives, scissors, etc. The one edge is made the sharp, so that cutting edges are made sharp, so that when we apply the force, force is applied on a very small area. Therefore, pressure increases. Those all example drawing pins, sewing needles, they have the sharp point. Okay, school bags, broad steps. Similarly, trucks and all, they have the broad tires and more tires. Like army tanks, they are having the steel tracks over which it moves. Okay. Similarly, pillars of the bridges, they have been made broad so that to decrease the pressure. Okay. Those all things we have discussed. Okay. Is this clear? Then we will start the liquid pressure.
Your voice is little bit echoing.
Ask again. Ritika, ask again. Okay, so we have to start from liquid pressure. Then we'll start from gaseous pressure. That is pressure in gases we'll discuss. Okay. So before starting that, let's discuss question answers. Okay. So that you will again revise the whole part. Okay. So let's start question answers first. Page number 59. Up in page number 59. Let's discuss question answers. Okay. and we have a lot of time, so we'll go a bit slow. Okay, we have a lot of time. Okay, so we'll go a bit slow. Okay, so first one.
We have done till 4:30.
I didn't get you.
Sir, we have done question answer till 4th.
Till fourth we have discussed. Okay, till fourth we have discussed. Okay, so we have to start from fifth. Okay, fifth, state how the steering wheel of an automobile is rotated about its axis. We have to state how the steering wheel of an automobile is rotated about its axis. How it is rotated? If this is the steering wheel, this is the axis around which it is to be rotated. This is the axis about which this wheel is rotated. So how we rotate? How we are rotating?
Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
That's fine. But how that clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation is taking place? We are applying force tangentially. We are applying force tangentially. Yes or no? If I rotate like this, I'll apply force in this direction, like this. So it is applied force tangentially, perpendicular at that point. Okay. So you can page number how much? 47. Open page number 47. Everyone open page number 47. So how you are going to write? State how the steering wheel of an automobile is rotated about the axis. The steering wheel of an automobile is rotated about the axis by applying force tangentially to the rim of the steering wheel. By applying force tangentially. It's written on page number 47. You can see 8 point. By applying force tangentially to the rim of the steering wheel. So this is the rim of the steering wheel of the automobile. Is this clear? Everyone have got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fifth question is clear. Yes. Okay. So see how you are going to write. Half part you write from the question. The steering wheel of an automobile is rotated about its axis by, then open page number 47. Okay, don't write open page number 47. Remember that. Okay. So by applying force tangentially to the rim of the steering wheel of the automobile. Okay, it's given on page number 47, 8th point. By applying force tangentially to the rim of the steering wheel of an automobile. Okay, is clear now? Okay, now see sixth question. On what factor does the pressure acting on a surface depend?
On thrust and area.
On a surface depend. On what factors does the pressure acting on a surface depends? On page number 48, open page number 48. It depends on the thrust and the surface area in contact. It depends on thrust. So you can write it like this. The pressure acting on a surface depends on the following factors. Okay, you can write it like this. The pressure acting on a surface depends on the following factors. Then you can mark first and second. First you will write thrust. First write thrust. Second, surface area in contact. First you write thrust. Second, surface area in contact. Okay.
Sir, please repeat this answer.
Okay, see it from the question. First you write from the question. The fact, okay, you can write two any ways you can. The pressure acting on your surface depends on the following factors. The pressure acting on a surface depends on the following factors. Depends on the following factors. Then do it like this. On the following factors. And then first you will write inside the margin. Don't write it there. Okay, first thrust. Second, surface area in contact. Is it clear? Thrust is nothing but force normal to the surface. Okay, it is given on page number 48 as well. See the last 2 points. Pressure is directly proportional to the thrust or force. For the given thrust, the pressure is inversely proportional to the surface area of the object in contact. This is clear on the following factors: thrust and surface area in contact. Okay. Define its SI unit.
Newton per meter square.
Okay, that's the unit, but we have to define the unit. How to define the unit? How to define the unit? That is, we'll take 1 Newton per meter square. So 1 Pascal, how we can define that pressure is of 1 Pascal? Anyone in class? How we can define the unit? We have to define the unit. We do not have to, we don't name, if you name it is fine, but we have to define the unit as well. So pressure 1 Pascal is said to act when force of 1 Newton is acting on a surface of unit area, surface area of unit area. Okay, it's given somewhere, see here. Okay. It's not given in book, I think. Okay, so you can write it like this. The pressure is said to be 1 Newton per meter square or 1 Pascal. Okay. The pressure is said to be 1 Pascal. Okay. In bracket, you can write 1 Newton meter square. The pressure is said to be 1 Pascal. Okay. When thrust of 1 Newton, okay, it's fine. When thrust of 1 Newton is acting on a surface, on a unit surface area, that is fine. On unit surface area. On unit means 1 unit surface area. In bracket, you will write 1 meter square. Okay. This way we can define it. The pressure is said to be 1 Pascal, that is 1 Newton meter square, 1 Newton per meter square, when thrust of 1 Newton is acting on unit surface area, 1 meter square. Okay, is this clear? That's the way we can define the unit. Is it clear to all? It's clear to all?
Yes.
As well, we have unit surface area. We have written here 1 meter square. Okay. Okay, see the next one now. Defines SI unit. SI unit we have defined. Why are the tips? Yes. I'm not getting your clear voice. Okay. So next question. Why, 7th question. Why are the tips and edges of cutting and piercing tools made sharp?
To increase the pressure so as to so that they can cut the surface.
Okay, so here, see here, very short answer you can write. The tips and edges of cutting and piercing tools are made sharp. To decrease the surface area in contact so that pressure increases. So that the pressure applied increases. Okay, this way you can write, or even more short you want to write to increase the pressure. Okay, so you can write, it's better to write it like this. Okay, see what is the question? Okay, you will write it like this: the tips and edges of cutting and piercing tools are made sharp, so that area of contact. So you can write it from page number 50. Page number 50, open page number 50 once. So that, and page number C, and knives and blades are written above that. Knives, blade axes have sharp cutting edges. Okay, so how you are going to write? The tips and edges of cutting and piercing tools are made sharp so that the area of contact decreases. It's given, have you found? Page number 50.
Yes, sir.
So that area of contact decreases and pressure on the object increases. That's it. Okay. So that area of contact decreases and the pressure on the object increases. Okay. On the object increases. Okay. That is fine. If you want to add more, you can add it like this. After that, you can add it that as a result, cutting action will be sharp and as a result, cutting action will be sharp and piercing tools can easily penetrate the objects. Okay. That way also you can write. Okay. Seventh question is clear to all. You can write in your own words. Okay. Eighth question, eighth one. Why are heavy trawlers fitted with a large number of wheels? Heavy trawlers.
To decrease the pressure which is exerted on the trawlers.
Okay. So see here how you are going to write. Heavy trawlers fitted with large number of wheels. Heavy trawlers are fitted with large number of wheels so that see here page number 51. Page number 51. Near the heels and between the truck and the heels, it's written. So that area of contact with the ground is increased and pressure is reduced. Okay. So that area of contact with the ground is increased and pressure decreases, you can write, or pressure is reduced, you can write. Okay. So that area of contact with the ground increases and the pressure is reduced. So more the area, pressure get distributed. Okay. This is clear? You all have got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now ninth one. Show that's liquid pressure. Okay. So we have to stop here. So till 8th you can complete. Till 8th you can complete.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please repeat 8th answer again.
Yes, again. This which one?
Sir, 8th one.
8th one. Okay. Why are heavy trawlers fitted with a large number of wheels? So you write the answer like this. Heavy trawlers are fitted with a large number of wheels. Then open page number 51. Open page number 51. See here on top, second point. In that fourth line. So that the area of contact with the ground is increased and the pressure is reduced. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You all are welcome. Okay. So now we start with liquid pressure. Okay. So mainly up to now we have discussed pressure applied by solids. So now we'll discuss pressure applied by liquid. Okay. So we are on page number 52. Okay. So pressure applied by liquid we'll be discussing, and that pressure is called as liquid pressure. Okay. So till now we have discussed, like for example, any body is there. So how much force this body is going to apply? Equal to its weight? Equal to its weight. The force applied on the surface area, on the surface, will be equal to its weight. Okay. And we have calculated the pressure, that is thrust per unit area. We have taken, so how much force it will apply equal to its weight. That will be the thrust applied by this body and divided by the area in contact. That is the pressure. That was the pressure. Okay, but now we have the liquid. Is this clear? Okay, so any body you can take weight of the liquid. Similarly, we take weight of the liquid as well. Okay, that body can be anything. It can be liquid, it can be gases. Okay, so the force applied by that body will be equal to its weight. Okay, now we are discussing. Now instead of solid, we have the liquid, and this liquid, does it apply force? This liquid,
Yes.
so see here, this is the surface. So below its surface, it is going to apply force. So here the molecules are there, they are applying force downward. Okay, here as well, they are applying force in all the direction. They are applying force. Okay, so liquid as well exert force below its free surface. Below its free surface. So as we move down, as the depth increases, force applied increases. Force applied increases. Dipali, please switch off your video. Okay, so as the depth increases, force applied increases. Okay, I can give you one example. So till now what we have discussed, if solid is there, force applied by this will be equal to its weight. This we have discussed. Force applied by the body will be equal to its weight. Okay, similarly, take the liquid. Okay, so if I ask you what will be the pressure applied here, that is, what is the first before pressure, what is the force applied by this liquid? So it will be equal to the weight of the liquid. Force applied at the bottom will be equal to the weight of the liquid. So if we know the weight of the liquid, we can calculate the force applied. Surface area, if we know, we can calculate the weight. We can calculate the pressure applied. Okay. Okay. For example, if I ask you, this is the liquid. What is the pressure here? Okay. So for this, how much weight of the liquid you will take? This much liquid you will take only. That will be the force applied here. So weight of the liquid of this liquid will be the force applied here. Okay. So you can see as the depth increases, pressure increases, or we can say as the depth increases, force applied by the liquid increases. That is, thrust applied by the liquid increases. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So see here, for example, you have to calculate the force applied here. So this much liquid you will take, its weight you will take. So its weight will be more. So more the force applied. More the force applied, more the thrust, more the pressure. So as the depth increases, pressure increases. As the depth increases, pressure increases. These all things we are going to discuss. Okay. So how to define the liquid pressure? So it's written in the book, that is a liquid contained in a vessel. Liquid contained in a vessel exert pressure at all the points. Liquid contained in a vessel, it exerts pressure at all the points below its free surface. So below its free surface, this liquid exerts pressure on all the sides. All the sides means this side as well, this side as well, this side as well. Okay, this is clear. Take any point, you take any point. Here you take. So here as well, pressure is being applied because of this liquid column. Take any point below the free surface, there will be pressure. Okay. So for example, this is our liquid. Okay. Take any point, this point. At this point as well, pressure is applied. How pressure is applied? We'll calculate the weight of the liquid divided by this surface area will give us the liquid pressure at this point. Okay. So always remember, pressure is applied at all the point in the liquid below its free surface. Okay, at the surface, if we take, no pressure will be applied by the liquid. Understood? Okay, but which pressure will be applied on it? Because of atmosphere. Okay, pressure because of air, atmosphere pressure will be applied. But for the time being, we are neglecting that pressure. We are taking that there is no atmosphere. Okay, we are only saying that because of the liquid there will be no pressure. Because of air there is pressure. So we are not talking about that pressure. Okay, we are talking about only the liquid pressure. That is there any pressure applied at this because of the liquid? No, because no liquid is above it, so no pressure. But here just below it there will be pressure because of this much liquid column. Next, at this point also pressure will be there because of weight of this much liquid. At this point as well there will be pressure because of this much liquid above it, weight of this much. Okay, this is clear, liquid pressure. Now we have to do one experiment to verify does liquid exert pressure, or we can say we have to show that liquid exerts pressure. So how we can show that? Okay, so for that what we are going to do, we are going to take one glass tube. Okay, a glass tube we have taken, its diameter is around 2 to 3 centimeters. So we can say it is 2 to 3 centimeters wide and it is open on both the sides. Both ends are open. Okay, now on one end we are going to tie a rubber membrane. Okay, a rubber membrane we have tied. Okay, so it is stretched initially in this position. We are stretched, a stretched rubber membrane is tied to one of the end. Okay, it is holding vertical position. Now what we are going to do, we are going to pour any liquid. For example, we are pouring water. So as we pour water, what will happen to this membrane? It will start to bulge. The bulge starts to build. So after some time, what will be there? If some liquid we have poured, it will be something like this. If we pour more liquid, it will be something like this. Yes. So as pouring the liquid, it starts to bulge more and more. So why is it bulging more? Because
of
this
pressure.
liquid, more the amount of liquid, more the weight of the liquid, more the force applied by the liquid on the membrane, more the force will be applied, so more the pressure will be there. Because of that, it starts to inflate, or we can say the bulge starts to be more and more. It becomes more and more bulgy. Okay, more, keep pouring the liquid, there'll be time it will burst. Yes. So by this experiment, we can show that liquid exerts pressure. By this experiment, we can show that liquid exerts pressure. This is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See again what is happening here. Initially, it was in a stretched position. Initially, the membrane was in stretched position, but as we start pouring the liquid, so weight of the liquid starts to increase. As the weight of more the liquid, more the weight will be there. Weight means thrust only. So more force will be applied on the membrane. As more force is applied on the membrane, it means pressure is increasing. At every point, pressure is increasing. More the pressure, it starts to bulge. Like it is happening like this one. Water, it is pushing the membrane. Pushing means applying the pressure on the walls of the membrane, and membrane starts to bulge more and more. Okay, so by this experiment, we can show that liquid exerts pressure. Liquid exerts pressure. This is clear. This is the first experiment. Okay. Okay. Now there is one more experiment. Does liquid exert pressure on the sides as well?
Yes.
Yes. Liquid, since it's the liquid, so liquid exerts pressure at the bottom. It exerts pressure on the sides as well. Okay. So whenever we take a container, if we pour the liquid in it, the pressure exerted by it is on the bottom as well as on the walls of the container, that is sides of the container. So this pressure on the exerted on the sides of the container, this is called as lateral. Lateral means on the sides. This is the pressure exerted on the sides of the container. This is called as lateral pressure. This is clear. Now, how to verify? We have to show that liquid exerts lateral pressure. Okay. Last time we tied on the base of the tube. We tied membrane on the base of the tube. This time on the side, since we have to show that it exerts pressure on the sides. So we will tie the balloon on the side of the container. So we are taking a metal can, or you can take a glass container as well. So let's use blue color now. Okay. Black only is fine. Blue will use for water. Okay. So we are taking a metal can or a glass jar having a opening on one of its sides. Having opening on one of its sides. Since we have to show that that liquid exerts lateral pressure, that is on the sides. We are taking opening on the side. Okay. Now we are tying a balloon. A balloon is tied on this opening. Okay. Now what we start to do? We start pouring the liquid. So as we keep on pouring the liquid, as we keep on pouring the water, what will happen to the balloon size? It will start to bulge. It will keep on increasing the size. We are increasing the size of the balloon. Okay. So as we are adding water in the can, the balloon starts to bulge. It will bulge more and more as liquid level increases. So by this estimate, we can show that liquid exerts pressure on the walls as well. Okay. So see what is happening. It exerts pressure on the walls at the bottom as well on the sides. On the sides, what is happening? It starts to bulge. Force is being applied. Because of that force, there will be pressure per unit area and it starts to bulge. So by this estimate, we can show that liquid exerts lateral pressure. This is clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me, okay, which are the factors on which this pressure depends? Liquid pressure depends. Can you tell? One we have already discussed. Liquid pressure, okay, as I increase the level of the water, it starts to bulge. It means
It depends on the
height of the water column. So pressure at this point will be equal to height, that is depth of that point. So it depends on the depth of the point from the free surface. Yes, more the depth of the point, more the pressure. So in a liquid, less pressure here, more pressure increases pressure. As the depth increases, pressure increases. How? At this point, only this much liquid. So weight of the liquid, only this much force is there. Okay, but at this point, how much weight of the liquid? This much weight of the liquid it has to bear. Yes, this much weight of the liquid it has to bear. Here, this much weight of the liquid, there will be force on this. Okay, so pressure, force per unit area. This whole weight divided by this surface area will give us the pressure at each point. Okay, we'll discuss more in detail in next lecture. Okay.
The time is over.
This time is over.
So it acts
So any
on
doubt?
direction of in the vessel in which it is